Galena, Illinois, Monday, January 22nd, 2024. Take roll call.
Johnson.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Keeper.
Here.
Meyer.
Here.
Westmeyer.
Here.
Whedon.
Here.
Renner.
Here, we have a quorum. Next is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, then let's move ahead to item number 24C-0024, it's reports of standing committees and no reports tonight. Let's move ahead to item number 24C-0025. It's citizens' comments and not to exceed 15 minutes as an agenda item and not more than 3 minutes per speaker. If you wish to address the council, step up to the podium and state your name and your address.
Hi, Council. My name is Jared Oska. I am at 28 Oak Glen Drive. Pleasure meeting you all. I am a professional tour guide in Colorado, as well as a newly hired historian for American Cruise Line's River Cruises. And just a disclosure, my partner and I traveled from Denver last night to make it to this meeting. Warm weather is on the way. It was dragging us, so just be patient. We promise. A bit about myself. I am the quintessential child of Galena, in quotes. I grew up visiting this town since I was an infant. You can find not so flattering photo evidence of me from the late 80s, screaming on Santa's lap at the old post office building, crying at the top of Chestnut Mountain, and running away from my mom trying to put sunscreen on. So I can provide those if you need proof. Coincidentally, those horrible attributes become my professional skill set later in life, so that worked out. I am also a Galena homeowner and a sometimes employee of the Haunted Galena Tour Company with Ted Williams and Robin Davis. And my experience with this town is dynamic, ever evolving and growing. I witnessed Galena experience its late 20th century renaissance and cultural and historical activations. As an adult, I've touted Galena as one of my favorite places to impress other adults with. I'm extremely proud of this place, and I'm looking forward to helping lead it into the second quarter of the 21st century. That being said, I came here today to provoke a thought experiment. Paging through many Galena tourism magazines, brochures, and websites, one can see that Galena is chock full of activities, from breweries to magic shows to blacksmithing to historical walking tours, parades, you name it, we've got it. Galena will never be clocked for being boring. But I will note that the town may have reached a terrestrial saturation point. What do I mean by that? The available space along the streets and sidewalks of Galena, especially during the high summer months, can be a bit crowded and overwhelming for many people. Where does there exist space to expand experiences in Galena that does not involve Main Street? I highly suggest that each one of you read and or revisit the Galena River watershed-based plan from 2018. I've recently had conversations with Beth Baranski, the project's coordinator, and Charlie Marsden, president of the Galena Boat Club, about reactivating the Galena River. As a professional tour guide and seasoned educator, I would like to start a conversation with members of the City Council to discuss the creation of a Galena River tour experience that helps fund ecological improvement projects for the watershed. And that's key to this plan. Our streets are bustling, but let us not forget the founding of this place. We are a product of boats and water. Looking forward to your time.
Okay, thank you. Do you have this information, Mark?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else wish to address the council at this time? Okay, then let's move ahead to the public hearings. We have none tonight. Liquor Commission, there is none. Let's move ahead to consent agenda CA 24-2. Do I have a motion on that? Alderperson, Katie.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda CA 24-2.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderperson Pam Bernstein. Is there any discussion on any of these three items? Alderperson, Cindy.
I just wanted to say that it's exciting that we got the e-shuttles as part of the Joe Davies County Transit for this, hopefully this year, but definitely by 2025 that they received that grant. I
Yes.
just saw that and it was very exciting.
Yes, it definitely is. It definitely is. Anybody else? All right, take a roll call on that consent agenda.
Johnson,
Yes.
Seaver,
Yes.
Quagmire,
Yes.
Westmeyer,
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
Brennan.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move, let's see, unfinished business. We have none. Let's move right into new business with item number 24C-0029. It's a presentation by O'Connor Brooks and Company of the annual financial report for the fiscal year ending April 30th of 2023. And I see somebody, Scott is here tonight. We have Scott Roberts with us. Scott, if you would like to come up. If it's bad news, you can stay there, but otherwise.
Read
Yeah,
the whole
a lot
lot.
of stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whole box of. Yeah.
yeah.
You're just gonna click through it? Yeah. So I'm Scott Roberts from O'Connor Brooks and Company. I have the April 30th, 2023 audit here. I'm just gonna kind of hit on some main points and kind of go through this kind of fast so we don't spend too much time on it. The very first thing I want to bring your attention to is pages 1 through 3. This is the independent auditor's report. This is the report that we as auditors issue, and it contains the opinion that we're given on the financial statements. So if you look, we kind of rearranged these reports a few years ago, so we put the opinion right in the very first part. The opinion we're giving the city of Galena is what's called an unmodified opinion, which is also referred to as a clean opinion. So that's the opinion that you guys want. Let's flip to pages 4 through 7. This is the second report that us as auditors that we issue. We do audit the city of Galena using what's called GAS, governmental auditing standards. As part of a governmental audit, we're required to look at the different internal controls and different functions in the city. We're not auditing to give an opinion on internal controls or anything, but if we find stuff, we bring it to your attention. We do have a couple of points which I've had in prior audits. And these are pretty common for smaller entities. These aren't necessarily meant to be things that you guys are doing wrong. It's more stuff that you as a council member should just kind of be aware of and keep track of. So the first thing we have is the segregation of duties. And we've had this in the past. It's just saying that when you guys are reviewing stuff, if something doesn't quite look right, make sure you ask questions, because you as the board kind of providing some oversight for the financial function of the city. The second comment we have was financial statement preparation disclosure. This is just because the auditors are the ones writing up the financial statements and all the notes in accordance with what's called the GAS, the Governmental Accounting Standards Board. And we've had that comment in the past. Third one, we're suggesting some journal entries. Some of them are just common every year journal entries. We've kind of maintained what's called your depreciation schedule. So every time you guys put assets in the service, we're adding them to the schedule. So we're giving the entries at the end of the year to record a few things like that. these are kind of the three things that we noted. They're pretty common for both smaller governments. And we knows those in the past. Also, this report, if we come across any material non-compliance, we would list it here. We didn't have any material non-compliance listed this year. Pages 8 through 16 is what's referred to as MD&A, management discussion and analysis. A few years ago, the standards board kind of thought they would kind of simplify a little bit of these governmental financial statements. So this is kind of a summary of everything that comes after it. I think it's kind of easier just to kind of look at actual statements and schedules and this MD&A, but you guys can kind of look through that. I'm just going to kind of touch on the numbers a little bit. Let's see, I think you can get ahead pretty far mark there. So that's, I was just rattling on, not watching the presentation. All right, so government, you basically have two different types of revenues, governmental and what's called proprietary business type. The governmental side, that's more funded by things like taxes, where the proprietary side is supposed to be funded more by user services. So like your water, sewer, and all that stuff falls into the proprietary. The governmental is more like tax revenue you're taking in. So this just was comparing your tax revenue from this year to last year. The governmental shouldn't really have a ton of program revenue. So that looks pretty normal. You can flip to the next one, Mark. This just kind of breaks down your revenues by source for the governmental. And a lot of it's the other local sources that contains a lot of the taxes in there. Again, pretty much it's going to be the same from year to year unless there's a lot of, the one thing that changes sometimes is the grants. So you can flip to the next slide. And typically, you want your revenues and expenses, or you want your revenues to cover the expenses. So the slide's going to show the last 2 years where your governmental revenues and your governmental expenses are. You can flip to the next slide. This is the business type. So this is the proprietary stuff. So this is more like the water, sewer, the kind of funds that you're charging for user services for. And again, I think the general revenues have been some grant stuff that you got in the last few years. Otherwise, the majority of the revenues come from user services. If you skip to the next slide, this will kind of break down the pie chart where the revenues are coming from the proprietary. You can see most of it is users charges for services, which is exactly how it should look. The next slide, we're just looking at your total revenues, business type to expense. And it's pretty consistent from year to year. We can flip to the next slide. So this is just the government wide. So this is including both governmental and proprietary for business type funds. So you can see the revenues were almost dead even the last 2 years. And the expenditures actually dropped off a little bit this last year. Let's flip to the next. I think this, I was just going to kind of hit on some of the notes in the financial statements. Note 1 is kind of an important note. That's your summary of significant accounting policies. These are kind of things that you've had or you've adopted throughout the years. There's also a list, basically what basis you're presenting these financials on, which is, you guys are what's called modified cash basis. It talks a little bit about the different types of funds, which I was kind of talking about with the business type and the governmental. It talks about some of your policies as far as what you're going to capitalize, like the useful lives and stuff. You can flip to the next one there. So it kind of gives a little bit more detail on the different elements of your financial statement. Page, let's see, 50 through 53. This is always one I kind of like to look at, the capital asset footnote. So it basically shows your beginning of the year, what capitalizes assets, kind of what you've added, what you subtracted. If you're looking at the note, then I think I just got the list of what we're showing for your what we're running for the capital assets here at the bottom for the additions. Guys had a few big projects that kind of finished up in the 2023 year. The next slide has a pie chart of that. So this is kind of comparing your business type and your governmental. The business type, that's mostly going to be the water sewer infrastructure. Like the swimming pool, all that stuff kind of falls under the business type. For the governmental, that's going to be more your buildings, machinery. And then the big one's going to be the infrastructure. So the kind of the streets and stuff like that fall in the governmental. We can go to the next slide. This is debts. You can see you don't have much governmental debt at the end of the year. The business type debt, that's basically your different revenue bonds and stuff. The best footnotes come up next, 158. And that's kind of a joke when I say the best. This is your pension stuff. So this is kind of a footnote that's hard to understand if you're not real familiar with how pensions get reported. Basically, the Illinois Municipal Retirement Fund puts out your IMRF gets audited every year. So we're looking at kind of the auditor's work on the IMRF. And there's lots of disclosures that are in the footnotes there. I know it's a couple of pages. Basically, it's calculating your net pension asset or liability. Usually I don't tell people to pay too much attention to these numbers just because they fluctuate quite a bit from year to year if the stock market goes up or down. And what you guys are kind of managing, that those numbers don't mean I don't think a whole lot in the short run. They're more projected out over what the pension liability or asset is for people retiring down the road. So you guys are usually more focused on the actual IMRF fund, what money you got in there, what money you're paying out. But these are all disclosures and stuff that came about with GASB with the GASB a few years ago. So I think you guys have been booking this stuff for probably about 7 years now. It's kind of hard to understand, but if anybody that likes financial statements and stuff, it's interesting stuff. But again, I don't think it means a whole lot to you guys. Let's see. I think there's some more pension stuff there. Let's take a look at that. Oh, that's pretty much it. So basically, just kind of to wrap up here, there wasn't any major changes to the financials from last year. If anybody wants to kind of read these over and has any further questions, I know I'm always available. Otherwise, like Mark or Jen can kind of give me those questions and I can answer them for you. If anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them at this point.
So we're in pretty good shape.
I think you guys are in good shape. Yeah.
Good. And yes, it'll give us some time to look over this information, and if we need you again, Scott, we'll call you in if you don't mind.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. Okay, then let's move ahead. Item number 24C-0030. It's a Galena Country Tourism quarterly report. Today we've got Terry Matson here. Terry, if you want to come up and introduce yourself and
Sure, thank you. Mayor Runners, council members, Mr. Moran. Congratulations on the audit. That's always good to see. Good evening. My name is Terry Masson. I am the new leader at Galena Country Tourism. It's been about 100 days for me. I've had a chance to meet some of you in person already. It's my first time in council chambers. My background, I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin on Lake Superior. Made my way to Galena through Duluth, Minnesota, and the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. So look forward to working with you, not just here quarterly, but hope to schedule meetings with everyone individually in the near future. I'm still learning, understanding about the values and the culture of the Galena community. And what a great city it is. I know we're very, very proud. I've had time to assess our team, our efforts, our policies, and some ideas for change. Very briefly, I know we've only got about 3 or 5 minutes here, so I'd like to touch a little bit. I think it's important to refer to some research and the state of our consumers, our potential travelers right now. And according to research nationally, about half of our would-be consumers see greatness in the coming year. Not so surprisingly, the other half doesn't have such good vibes. It's kind of the way of our country right now. But yes, there are economic unknowns. There's less anxiety right now about a recession than there was a year ago. The travel planning window continues to shrink, to get less and less. That's how far ahead people are planning their trips and their travel plans. The post-pandemic pent-up demand is lessening, but still very, very good. It was at an all-time high in the last couple of years. And through the pandemic, we all know that Galena was in a better position than most communities, most certainly. The immediate future, I believe, favors destinations like Galena, typically not as crowded as major cities, which are more at risk for a variety of different reasons. We're close to our core audiences and do a fantastic job of marketing, and nothing happens until we sell it. We just finished our annual financial audit as well, the clean audit with flying colors. The interest in Galena is up, but as you know, the receipts are off slightly year to date for this fiscal year, 23-24. We've got new campaigns, ad campaigns with a new agency. Capitalizing on Galena's charm is a theme that we've woven through most of that fabric. We were recently at the Chicago Adventure and Travel Show, and interest and enthusiasm in and for Galena was at an unparalleled level. So we're in a good position there. We've got new social media efforts that are really performing well. A new TikTok presence with in this quarter, we've had over 3.5 million views, so it's been very, very popular. We've got future collaborations on the horizon, like the 2026 bicentennial. And I see Barb here. We've got a good partnership with the chamber, with the city, and even though that's 2026, we'd like to see most of that in place by 2025, so we can really capitalize on that monumental accomplishment. We know things like the workforce, like parking, like transportation, will be important along with developing our off-peak and value season business. We have a new visitor guide available. I don't know if you have that yet, but I'll leave some copies for everyone. We're very, very proud of that. It's available in print and also online. I'm happy to answer any questions tonight, and again, at any time. I'd love to meet with you individually. Thank you for welcoming my family and I to the beautiful city of Galena. It's been a very gracious experience from wonderful residents, and we're hoping Galena is our forever home. And we do what we do for the people who live here. It's real economic development, and I want to help you continue sharing everything it is you love about this place.
Thank you, Terry. Any questions this time for Terry? Okay, thank you very much for that report.
Can I just leave some things on the counter there?
Okay, certainly can.
I don't want to cross any lines here that I shouldn't be, but
No,
Here's our new guy.
no, there's electricity that runs across there. So.
got it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Terry, and maybe next time you can have a little financial report and stuff for us.
Absolutely.
You get
Absolutely.
settled in.
Yeah, and maybe a little different format than in the past with some new information, some of the same, but part of why I want to sit down with everybody is find out what's important to you and the direction we should be headed. I think that's a heart. So thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Terry.
you.
Thank you. Okay, then let's move ahead to item number 24C-0031. It's discussion and possible action on an intergovernmental agreement for general public transportation with Joe Davis County Transit 2024 downtown shuttle service. I have Alderperson Pam Bernstein.
Yes, I move to approve the intergovernmental agreement for general public transportation with Joe Davies County Transit, 2024 downtown shuttles, item 24C-0031.
I'll second that.
Seconded Alderperson Cindy Johnson. Any discussion on this? Alderperson Pam.
Yeah, I'd just like to comment on the way that this is continuing to be successful. We're expanding it every year. I think it's a great thing for the city, for the tourists, and like Cindy said, it's wonderful to know that we're going to have a couple of electronic vehicles.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's a very good thing.
Anybody else have anything to say? I figured if they can haul down 1,000 tourists from hotel and that's 1,000 cars that aren't downtown. So,
Right.
you know, it's great, a great service for those people, and I'm glad that they use it. That's the main thing. It's great to work with too, the transit authority. Anything else at this time? Take a vote on that motion.
Keeper,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then. I have number 24C-0032, which is discussion and possible action on the purchase of a new truck for the Public Works Department. So some type of motion on Alderperson Katie.
I make a motion that we approve the purchase of a new truck for the Public Works Department in the amount of $78,700.
Okay,
Second.
all right, been moving second. Item number 24C-0032, discussion on this. And the reason we're ordering it now, it's the wait time to get one, and this will be coming out of the next fiscal year budget, so, you know. All right, any other discussion or questions on this?
I just appreciate that there's multiple bids and we go with the lowest one and it seems to make sense. And so just looking at it from a fairly lay person's view, I just appreciate that.
Yeah, and you know, I think we're all aware of, you know, you gotta rotate your stock because, you know, you pretty soon you get nickel time to death. All right, take a roll call on that motion.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Keeper.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then. I have number 24C-0033. It's discussion and possible action on the swimming pool wages, rates, and schedule for 2024. Alderperson, Cindy Tegler.
Sure. I make a motion to approve the swimming pool wages, rates, and schedule for 2024, item 24C-0033.
Do you have a second on that?
Second.
Seconded Alderperson Cindy Johnson. Discussion.
I think they're doing great. It was a good report. We don't have the scramble this year potentially for lifeguards because Hillary and team did such a good job of really securing them last year. So that's exciting. I did bug her a little bit this afternoon about the possibility of extending the season. And I know that's a slim chance, but she's working on it if it's even a chance.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Anything else on it? I think it's one thing, you know, swim pool as well, but that's about the only thing that we own that we can offer our citizens, you know. And I'm
It's a
glad
wonderful amenity.
it exactly is, and not only for our own local residents, but for people and their children that come to town to visit.
Yeah.
They
Great.
do a good job out there and keep up the good work and, you know, carry on. Okay, take a roll call on that motion.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Keeper.
Yes.
Tegmeyer.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. Let's move ahead then. I have number 24C-0034. It's the warrants. Do I have a motion on the
Mr. Mayor, I
warrants?
move we approve the warrants item 24C-0034.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded Alderperson Cindy Johnson. Okay, any questions on any of the bills? Okay, take roll call on it.
Weenan,
Yes.
Bernstein.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Keeper.
Yes.
Tegmeyer.
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Renner.
Yes, motion carries. All right, let's move ahead then to item number 24C-0035, Alderperson's comment. Alderperson Katie.
Nothing today, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Alderperson Jerry Westmark.
Nothing.
All right, Alderperson Pam Bernstein.
It's too cold.
Okay, I will agree with you there. All right, thank you. Alderperson Jerry Kiefer.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
All right, Alderperson Cindy Johnson.
I would like to thank all the city's street workers that kept our streets clean with snow, all the emergency workers that had to work below zero weather, and stay warm tonight.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Alderperson Cindy Tegmeyer.
Someday I'll say no comment.
right.
Today is not the day. So I was just curious about the O'Connor report, since we just got this today, and this was before our time anyway, and if there's anything we need to do, and how do we pose questions, since we're so far away from the actual end of fiscal year 2023. So I was just curious about that and wanted to make a note about it. And I'm looking forward to the completion of the website and the added, we're going to have a Facebook page that goes along with that. And I think that's going to be great, and just streamlining all of our communication. So I'm excited about that upcoming.
All right, thanks, Cindy. Let's move ahead to item number 24C-0036, City Administrator's Report.
Quickly on the website, we are getting close. We're probably, say, weeks away from releasing the new site. Excited about that. And the next meeting, I do have a proposal ready to present for architectural services for 403 South Main for the restrooms and welcome center there. So that's from Straka Johnson Architects.
Okay, thank you. Let's move ahead then to item number 24C-0037. I too, along with Cindy and everybody here at the table, thank our public works crew for a good job. I had a lot of good compliments in regards to how we got the streets open and we could use them. Plus, not only that, the fire department and the ambulance also that worked. So, God bless them. Be safe. With that, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Person Katie,
So
Second,
second.
yeah.
Cindy.
Sorry, we have to keep it too.
All right, take a roll call on that adjournment.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Kiefer,
Yes.
Tegmeyer,
Yes.
Westmeyer.
Yes.
Eden,
yes.
Brenner.
Yes, motion carries. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Enjoy.